Bailey, I'd like to thank you for coming to camp. My name is Thad Johnson with ABC, and I'll be taking a look at your video here today and talk about a couple different things, including your balance position, direction of home plate, and your follow through. So the first thing we're going to do is we're gonna load you up here on your backside and see how good of a balance position you get into. You know, the one thing we're looking for with pitchers is for them to really get to the top of a delivery, whether they have a short leg or a bigger leg lift. And really with you, Bailey, is you have a tendency to just drift a little bit. You do a good job of swaying yourself back, but what I'd like to see you do is just maybe pick the leg up just a little bit higher, maybe 4 to 5 inches higher. You're going to still be plenty quick enough to home plate as you get older and try to protect against the running game. But what happens is when guys rush and they slide step as much as you do, um, the balance position is okay, but what they do is they're late on their handbrake. All right, and when you have a very quick lower half, you need to make sure that you break your hands a lot earlier, okay, than when you do. So what I would recommend is just if you're gonna stay with the low leg lift, you need to just really concentrate when you lift your leg up to break your hands, and they should probably break in this area right here that I have a circle. And as you can see, you start to take them down just outside of the circle, and now they break. And right off the bat, you see the top half starting to really fall behind the lower half. Ideally, I'd like to see this glove stay in line with the lead foot throughout the delivery. And what you typically see is you'd see these lines be parallel, okay, as they make their way forward. And what you see here, Bailey, is at foot strike, and now we go back to kind of the first motion. So why that line in the middle gets a little bit more upright than the other two is because you initially are behind your lower half. Okay, so what you do is you speed up your delivery in the middle to catch up, and because you've sped up your delivery in the process of speeding up, what happens is now you start to open your front side a little bit longer, which at foot strike then on that third line, um, at this position is why now you're behind. Okay, your glove is behind your front foot because you've rotated your shoulders open. So to back up into that balance position, what I'd like to see you do is I'd like to just see you break your hands right there at your chest level, okay, and get that hand started earlier. Because now when you break your hands, your glove is going to be able to travel out. You're going to be able to sit on your backside, okay. And one thing we do look at to see as pitchers move forward to see if they've got a tilt in their lower half, and you have a slight tilt, or excuse me, in the hips, and you've got a slight tilt. I'd preferably like to see it um, just be a little bit more discernible um, tilt between your lower half, okay, and your top half. Your shoulders are really good; they're nice and level, okay, but that lower half could be tilted up a little bit more on that front hip, which is what that does is as you get your front hip tilted upwards, it then puts a lot of weight on your backside. And what you can do is if you stand upright into a balanced position, and you can practice this. You stand up, lift the leg in the balanced position, and just kind of thrust your left butt cheek forward. And what you're going to start doing is you're going to start seeing creating that tilt in the hips that I'm now talking about, and you're going to feel a lot of weight get put on your backside. So it's something you need to work on. You can practice doing that. As we move forward, okay, on frame by frame, you look pretty good. We get to about the position right here that we're stopped, And what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to get those shoulders up. Okay, get your glove up a little bit higher. Okay, really have a firm front side. Really like to, when we talk about pitchers having a nice front side, you want to pretend as if, that top half is a door. You want to keep it closed as long as possible. As we travel all the way to the foot strike, okay, or the loaded position as I like to call it, we need to make sure that we're, one, striding in line towards home plate, which you look a hair open, and this isn't surprising, being that late handbrake. The top half starts to speed up. You get a little bit of rotational because it tries to catch up. Then what it will do is it'll take your body offline, and you got a little bit of an open stride. You need to go ahead and practice striding on the line. Okay, draw a line in the ground. And then the second thing we look for is our top half closed. Okay, and as you can see, you're really opened up. You're really opened up towards the light standard, just off the right of your glove. And we want to just drive again. We want to drive our top half forward into the pitch. Okay, through the baseball, directly through the center home plate. Use that glove as a directional device to keep you in line. You can do a one knee drill at this point, where you sink your back knee into the ground. Okay, get your front foot opened up as it is. Make sure we're on line, and then just really work on breaking your hands, okay, towards home plate, towards second base, and driving into that glove. You want to drive into that glove. Drive into that glove minus the rotation. So you just want to think about being real direct with your movements and less rotation. The top half rotation is going to take care of itself. Okay, when that front side opens up, what guys do is they tend to have to de-accelerate their delivery to then slow down again to let their arm catch up, and that's what you're doing. You do a decent job of getting to a good release point, okay, and then as we play it forward, your body just kind of shuts down. And what I'd really like to see, I'd like to see you real aggressive through the baseball. Okay, drive through that pitch. A lot of times tennis coaches tell tennis players to hit the baseball with their feet. Okay, and what it does is it creates a lot of hip action, a lot of torque in the lower half, and they really get extension through that tennis ball using their lower half. Well, and I would like to say the same thing to my pitchers sometimes is, hey, really drive through the pitch, okay, with your legs. And if you do a good job of keeping that weight back, what you're going to do is you're going to stay in line, you're going to get out there, you're going to get that real long extension out in front, and then right at this point that we've stopped the video, you're going to just drive and kick through with that lower half and be real diligent of being good on top of the baseball and drive down. Don't worry about where it's going. Sometimes, if you look at your head right here, it looks like you're really concerned about where that pitch is. Sometimes when guys get out there and they get a little loose and get real aggressive, that head will kind of just dip down just a little bit, okay, because they're getting through the pitch. And what will happen is they'll stay long out over the front of the foot, and that back leg and that back heel really kicks up a little bit higher. So a couple things to work on, mainly that hip tilt at the balance point. Maybe possibly, bringing your leg up just a little bit longer to give your top half time to catch up, and then work on that one knee drill and also striding in line with home plate and keeping that weight back. So Bailey, I want to thank you for coming to camp. I hope you learned a little bit here today, and look forward to seeing you out there again sometime soon.